It was an interesting moment for me at the time because I really wasn't seeking someone or anyone, I should say. I just hoped if I did meet someone that they would be a positive person to meet. Everything he was saying and doing was making me fall in love with him.
A lot of people quit going, that's just how it got to be. But she keeps on fighting and it takes a lot of guts. No justice, no peace!
You two are like two immature cartoon characters.
Objection. Where's any of this evidence of this?
Order.
I'm sanctioning you for $15,000.
I have a right to see my son.
This is all about a child. A poor boy born into a battle.
This is not justice! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No peace! No justice!
You're trying to have a judge removed.
I'll sanction her for thousands of dollars for coming to court.
How much money is Mr. K-Man, Mr. Gee paying you and your fellow judges to keep this woman away from her child?
Said I'm gonna survive, I gotta survive. Even with your lies, I'm gonna survive, gotta survive. Said I'm gonna survive, I gotta survive. Even with your lies, I've gotta survive, gonna survive. Said I'm gonna survive, I'm gonna survive. Even with your lies.
This is the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show. Dr. Meleeka Clary is a clinical psychologist, actress, director, model, and human rights activist. On this program, Dr. Meleeka guides you toward a more fulfilling life through the power of positive psychology. And now, please welcome your host, Dr. Meleeka Clary.
Welcome to the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show, powered by Sweet Recordings, where we're coming live. Welcome, people. I'm back. All right. You know what? First of all, I have to say thank you, God, for getting me up this morning to be able to say I love you to my loved ones. Thank you, Jesus. In Jesus' name, I pray. Amen. And to do this show. These are trying moments, people. That's all I have to say. We don't know what's going on. I do want to say a shout out to all my fans. Thank you. I love you. I love you. Thank you. All the blessings that you're sending my mom. Yes, she's doing okay every day, but she has pneumonia still. It's an ongoing battle. So I wanted to share that with you. Thank you for your prayers and your love. And you're just sending me that emojis and hugs and everything like that. I appreciate you. And tuning into the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show. It's every day it's a challenge. You never know what you're going to go through. There's so many people out there that's going through so many other things that I do not want to imagine. And I do. I can, but I don't want to, because when we talk about family and, our loved ones and things happen to them, it gets you mentally. It gets you. And, there's so many things that's going on in this world that I wish I could just hug everybody and say, hey, it's going to be all right. I could pray for you, but it's up to God, what's going to happen next. How's that? Not that it's bad things, because I don't put that on him, but just when is he going to say, hey, enough is enough? And that's something we have to think about, because, that's why I pray to God all the time to ask him for his protection. I don't know when he's going to interfere, intervene. I don't know when he's going to do that. I don't know. I just know that he hears me, and I developed that relationship. So anybody that's going through something and you're hurting and you feeling like, why me? Why do I have to go through this? Pray. I don't know what your spiritual belief is, but just pray and ask that great feeling or that spiritual belief that you believe in. I say God, Jesus Christ, and Holy Ghost, but if that is for you, fine. But just pray. So, your situation can get better. And that's what I ask people: devote your energy to prayer, because that's what we need. Because some things is just out of our control, people. There's nothing that we as humans, it's almost like we're not supposed to take all this burden. God said, give it to him. I know it's hard, y'all. It's hard to, give it to him. It's very hard, but you got to try. You got to try to do that, because I think that's so important. And I really wanted to share that with you, because even you watched last week's segment, I went through some stuff, and I'm still going to tune y'all in because there's more to come. And when I say it's more to come, and my fight as against the judicial system, just for abuse, a mental abuse, and for me, towards me, and allowing things, because I believe in human rights. I believe in the civilians. I believe in talking if they can't find their voice right now. I believe that, because one day, or I shall say, there was a day that I didn't want to utilize my voice anymore, and people were trying to silence me. But then I welcome fear, and that's the thing that I don't like the most, is welcoming fear. So I tell you people all the time that we have to utilize our voice. And I know right now, these trying moments, that it feels like, oh, if you do that, you're going to get, this way, or be treated. Yes, I know I've been treated biased in the judicial system, and they keep doing it to me, but I'm still going to use my voice, because that's what I have. That's my weapon to tell what's going on. So I'm going to tell you guys all the time, use your voice in a powerful way, but respectful way, and let it be known. And then, me guiding you, that's when I'm here. I'm going to do it. But I have to be a living example. And I believe that's why God chose me, because I believe that, I say, why would you put so much on me? It's a lot. But he picked me. I was a chosen one to do the job that he wanted me to do, that no one else could do on that page. So therefore, I'm going to go with God on this one. And I'm going to keep on telling my story, and I'm going to keep on telling people what's going on. Even if people say, why are you telling people? Because I want it to stop. Lawyers and judges, there's some bad ones and some good ones, and people are abusing their powers just to hurt civilians and people. And I want to share that with you. I'm talking to you. I don't like it. And I don't think you should do that to anyone just because they're not a lawyer, just because they're not a judge. That doesn't give you a right to abuse them and play games with the laws that we have displayed out there to help civilians like myself. So that's why I'm sharing my business to people, because what's happening to me and happening to you, I believe is because we are not lawyers and we don't have the judicial powers, but we do have what? A voice. And that's what we're going to do. Use it. And there's so many people that believe that same slogan, and they'll follow. And that's what I'm about. So sharing that message. But today I do have to say, and I'm going to take a break, but what I am going to say, I have amazing guests. And before that, keep following me. You already see, I love that little orange strip. It says, follow YouTube, follow, Facebook or Instagram and all that. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it, people. Oh, I love that. So that's the new show thing, right? So with that being said, thank you again for share. Keep seeing. I know some of you see me on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and X and all these other places, Snapchat. Thank you. TikTok. Thank you. So keep on and share. And I see you guys watching me. I love it. You guys are using some of my quotes and things I'm talking about. So I see you and I feel that you hear me. So keep on, because, we need each other. And especially, like I said, these trying moments, we need each other. That's what we have, our voice. Let's don't be silent. Let's be respectful, and let's love each other. We gotta go back to that, y'all. Stop loving each other again. Stop loving each other, period. So let's share love, not hatred, and positivity, because that is so important. You don't know what someone's going through. You just don't know. And it's a lot. So I love you all. So please, let's think positive. When we get back, I have amazing guests, and I think all my guests is amazing. But when we get back, I will introduce my amazing guest, and we're going to get to know him a little bit. Okay. So until then, we are going to take a brief commercial, and we will be right back with the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show, powered by Sweet Recordings. Don't go nowhere, fam. We'll be right back. Now, I always tell people communication is so important. If you are feeling a certain way, what's the best way? Accept it and talk about it. How do you feel about this situation? Talk about it. That's the best advice, is talk about how you're feeling about the situation. Whatever is bothering you, whatever's you're carrying that weight, talk about it. Because if you release it, you'll feel much better. You might think that, you're going to be judged. If you feel that someone else is in your family is keep on letting you know all the problems that have happened and they won't let it go, let them know so then you can let it go. Explain how you feel, that I'm letting that go. There was nothing I could have done. And if I did do something, well, mistakes happen. We all make mistakes, and that's what happened. Welcome back to the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show, powered by Sweet Recording, where we're coming live. Woo! Yes, we are back. Like I told you before, I went on break. I said I have an amazing guest. Now, I know you guys been following me on social media, and I went to, I think maybe it was a little bit before my birthday. It was a bingo loco bingo. Yeah, bingo loco. And it was so much fun. I didn't even know what it was really about, but I guess bingo, yeah, duh. But I was thinking, I don't know, I was scrolling my phone and seeing something that looked like party, and I was like, I want to be a part of that world. And it was great. And I met this gentleman, a handsome fella too. And I met him, and he's a DJ. I think it's DJ Cruz, and he was DJing. I said, oh my goodness, I love this. But you know what? I know that he was playing wonderful music, and that music was off the chain, you guys. And I was just like, wow, I want to know who this person is behind the scenes. So I'm so glad that he agreed to be a guest on my show. And so we're going to get to know him a little bit more past of the DJing, because he is great and awesome. So why don't you come in close while I introduce Josh Langford, DJ Cruz. Is this correct? Is that DJ Cruz?
Yeah. I recently did a little new rebranding thing. So I am DJ Cruise Control, but I operate under JL Events. That's like my official LLC and all that good stuff. But yeah, I appreciate you having me and talking and all that. It was good to meet you at the Bingo Loco event. But yeah.
Oh, well, thank you. How are you doing? Good.
Good. Yeah.
Good. You're looking good. Did I say it right? Your last name? I don't know. You got
It's
Josh
a
up there.
Langford. Yeah, you were close. There's a G in there after the N, so it's Langford. But yeah.
Langford. Okay. I was wondering, but I was like, I'm going to ask on air, you guys, because I've been messing up names. I'm not.
You're good. You're good.
I'm sorry. Okay.
I've been there. Yeah.
Yeah, see, there you go. I try.
Yeah.
Well, you know what, Josh, and I'm going to call you Josh. I've seen you, and you were wonderful. The music you was playing was just out of sight. I was having my good old time there. And so thank you for that moment, because I love music and dance and all that, and that's so therapeutic. And so, but, I want you to go on this show because I want to know about you. I'm not the fact that you're a DJ and you know how to mix up and do all these things. You're an entrepreneur and all of that. But I love to know the person, because at the end of the day, you're a human being. So I'm going to ask you, who do you identify yourself to you?
I would identify myself to me as a person that's pretty understanding, tries to improve themselves, do a lot of self-reflection in all the relationships that I've been in and all that, make sure that I'm doing my part. But if I were to identify myself to me, I'd be like, that's a pretty honest guy. He might be a little abrasive sometimes, but he's not going to lie to you, that kind of thing. Um, but that's a pretty difficult question. I'm not gonna lie. I remember you asked me that the first time we met, and I was kind of thinking about that on and off. But hopefully that's an okay answer. Um, but yeah, yeah,
You know what?
yeah.
It's so sweet that you said that, and it's so innocent. But there's no right and wrong answer
Right.
to that.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
who you identify yourself to you. I asked
yeah,
that question, Josh, because there's so many people out there that do not understand or even, I want to say, display them as anything. And there's people who don't know who they are, and they are living for other people. Like, for example, if I grew up and there's a doctor from a doctor at home, that means they might expect me to be a doctor, and then I go and be a doctor. But does that explain who I am? Do that identify I'm living for somebody else and not for myself, when I actually want to be a musician out there? You know what I
yeah.
mean? And
Right.
that is happening to a lot of people, and by the time you know it, people are walking around like zombies and lost in the sauce.
Hmm.
So there's no right and wrong. I just asked that question mainly because I want to know, who do you think of yourself? What you think about yourself? Because there's so many people are unhappy in this world,
Oh
and by
yeah.
the time you know it, and they could be a doctor, and they could be a musician that had,
Right.
ended their life and
And
said,
the funny thing about that is, I do know a few people like, whether they work a regular occupation as a banker or a professor, but on the side they'll like be performing at a club or an event or anything like that. But yeah, I feel like at the end of the day, you should always pursue what makes you happy. But we all gotta like make money at the end of the day. If you need to keep your side job, keep your side job. I'm in that boat kind of, so I work during the week, and then the weekends I do my weddings, corporate events, all that. But as far as like my passions, I've always been involved in music since I was like 4 years old. Classically trained in like violin, viola, all that. I was in orchestras, but yeah, I just take that passion and kind of put it into a career and turn it into a service. I know some really good DJs too, so yeah, it's all been kind of coming around and making sense at the end of the day. But yeah, it's been a whole progress trying to figure out what I want to do. And I had that whole thing in college, trying to figure out what I wanted in college. That really did it. Yeah, because I almost broke down in college, almost dropped out, all that stuff. But that college time, I did kind of identify kind of what I wanted to do and like where I wanted to take my life and all that stuff. So yeah.
well, sometimes people do take a journey,
Oh
several
yeah. Yeah.
decades to figure it out, and that's okay.
Yeah. I was
It's
just like,
okay.
oh, I got a degree, but I don't know what to do. Yeah, a lot of people younger than me are in that boat. My little cousin's in that boat. He was calling me, trying to ask for advice. I'm just like, man, if you don't know what to do, I would honestly pursuing passion in college is like a double-edged sword because you want to get money in life, but you also want to be happy. So it's
There
like,
you
how do
go.
you? So
Do
I
that,
told him like, you
right?
know what? Honestly, I was like, you should probably just go into business school, and if you really hate it, that's at least you can turn whatever you're passionate about into like a business and make money off it because I feel like that's important for anyone.
That is wonderful advice. Thank you so much for sharing that. Well, you know what? And I have to ask this question because,
Yeah.
you know, we all go through things in life, and sometimes people don't know to reach out, don't know who, or a human being. And I am, well, religious, but I believe in God, Jesus, Holy Ghost, and I pray, and I believe in prayer. Now, that's what I was raised on, and I follow that, because I also felt that on my time of searching for help. So I know it works. But is there any type of belief mechanism that you believe in, or
Yeah,
spirituality, or not, or not?
I would say like I do in my own personal way. I don't actively go to church as often as I probably should, but again, I definitely was raised in a Christian household. I definitely do believe in, Christianity, all that stuff. I'm not gonna say, oh, I'm not religious or anything like that. I do definitely believe in like, spiritual forces, all that, because at the end of the day, there's stuff that we can't explain. We don't know everything, and I feel like that's a logical enough reason to still have faith and stuff and like that kind of thing. But yeah, yeah, absolutely. I do believe in like, you know, the especially the fundamentals and like the results that comes from like growing up in a Christian household or a church, anything like that, you just have better values that are like better for your life moving forward. Even if like minus the the going to church, just like having those life lessons and treating people well, just having a good foundation. Yeah, a lot of people just don't have that. That's why they have to, you wonder why, like, oh, they didn't really have any kind of religious structure, anything like that, that kind of like helps them have that fundamental humanity, you know, that kind of thing. But I will say, yeah, I am a Christian. I just don't actively go to church that often. Yeah, so.
Yeah. It's no perfect answer to that anyway, because some people don't go to church, but they're still Christian. I mean, some people go to church, some people do Bible study, some people pray a lot, form different Christian groups, watch church online. I believe when you start reading the Bible and you start to realize there's so many other ways that you can worship. And that's kind of what it is, worshiping and building a relationship with God. And I think that's important, or building a relationship, whatever that spiritual belief mechanism for that person is great. It's a relationship. It's like love. People say I love you, but you build that love. And that's the same as, religion. You build it. So when you don't want to call, when you just need help, you want to call, period. Not just when you need help. And you build that relationship. It wouldn't be foreign to say, hey, I need some help down here. Hello. You don't see what he doing? You don't see what she doing? I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Yeah. So you already have the relationship. He's like, it's all right. Here we go through it. Right. So just to let my fans know and people, there's no judging here. No one's perfect and we're not perfect. And I want to make sure people understand because, on my platform, it's about positive psychology, but no one's perfect. There's not a judging here to say, hey, you have to be this way. You can't be my friend. I don't really care. I just want to know, like you said, here's the good words and the words I want to hear. Are you a good person?
Yeah,
that's what's important.
All kinds of religions. It's just, I don't knock anyone else for being, Muslim or Jewish, whatever.
That's right.
It's just there's that's like right. That structure that's objectively you can't
That's fine. People think what they want, but I'm always gonna keep saying if you're a good person.
Yeah.
That is the good people is I don't care how you got good and bad. There's different titles with that. Good and bad. And on that note, so I want you to think about that, people. So it really doesn't matter what religion you are, but are you a good person? That's really interesting there. So with that being said, we are going to take a brief commercial and we'll be right back with my amazing and handsome guest, DJ Cruz. Well, wait a minute. You said you changed things. Are you still going to by DJ Cruz too?
Let's promote JL events. That's
JL events. Okay. But your nickname, we're not doing DJ no more.
We can do that. Cruise Control, DJ Cruise Control.
Okay.
DJ
Josh.
Of JL events. Yeah,
okay, there we go. I'll let him fit it.
We're going to figure it all out.
We'll get it together.
Yeah. That's part of the process, too. It's like, I've been doing it for so long. I was like, just woke up one day and I was like, I'm not at the same point as I was when I first started this. I just need to rebrand it. So
there you go.
Represents kind of where we're at now.
That's what's up. All right. I like that. And you're not scared of change.
Yeah.
That is wonderful.
Plus if you change, you hit the ground running. It's like I did again, like started off super humble. Now I could just get into a new brand and just
there you go.
Get going, so
there you go. JL Events, it is. All right, we'll be right back with JL Events on the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show. Powered by Sweet Recording. We'll be right back. Fans, don't go nowhere.
Even in young individuals, older, communication, active listening, it helps. Because if a person is telling you something, try to listen to something they're saying. I have to say, when you touched about suicide too, People say, oh, well, that's the first time I heard or didn't know. Well, are we not communicating? Are we not talking?
Right.
Because how are
Right.
you not knowing what's going through in this individual's mind? Are we not asking another person? How can you be a wife or a husband and you're in the same home and not knowing what your wife or husband's going through? And then all of a sudden this person commits suicide. I think we need to change that. Where's the communication? Where is not seeking therapy? Is it our pride? Are we ashamed if we're having these thoughts? Because that's where the mental illness is developing even more, because people are not
Right.
sharing or caring enough, or it's a phase, because that's what I'm seeing, and that's across the board. It doesn't matter who
Absolutely.
you are. If you could be a celebrity, you could be a lawyer, you could be a doctor, you could be a server. It doesn't matter. But you're human. So to me, we need to start changing the communication process. We need to talk.
I have to laugh because at the end of that commercial, I'm like, welcome back to the Dr. Meleeka Clary show. Yes, we are still with our amazing JL Events. Josh, hey, did I get it right?
Yes, perfect.
All right. I tried.
No, you're good. Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
You know, before we went on break, you know, we talked about religion, but here's the thing about it. And I always going to ask this because, you know, my platform is about positive psychology, but it's about struggles and challenges and things we go through, sharing and caring. Because, you know, there's many viewers and my show is global. So a lot of people are watching and they're like, you know, you're not like me. You don't go through anything. You're a perfect tool. You know, you wake up with a silver spoon in your mouth. You need, and that's understandable. People might think that, right? But I know we have challenges. Have you ever had a challenge in your life? And you probably have many. But if you don't mind to share one that you ever had a challenge that was so difficult that you was like, how do I get through this? And you didn't know. And just explain a little bit how you did it and what you do get out of it.
Well, I am personally already know how blessed I am compared to other people. So like my story might not be anywhere near whoever, because I've met other people personally and they tell me what they're going through. And I'm just like, but for me personally, like because I was raised in like a decent household, two-parent household, Christian household, parents, put me through school, all that stuff. The biggest thing for me is just like was like, yeah, like the first question, just kind of figuring out like what I want to do with my life. And that was kind of like a soul crushing experience in college where it's like, I grew up playing instruments, playing music, all that, but wasn't really sure how to keep that going forward. And, at a certain point, I was just like super discouraged, didn't really want to create anything, didn't want to do any like music anymore. I was just like pretty torn up about that. Again, like I said, almost dropped out completely. Had to go meet up with the whole committee to like, tell them why they shouldn't kick me out of IU, all that. Um, but I guess at the end of the day, it's like, okay, it's like one of those things you just gotta tough it out or thug it out, as they say. So I figured out what exactly I should be doing. I'm a smart guy, I don't have any like mental health issues, no kind of like addictions or anything like that. So as far as like being able to identify what exactly I need to do and then executing that, especially when like when my head's on fire, basically, that's when I just kind of lock in. And for that, figuring out how the system works, how the school system works. Me personally is like I'm not going to go see my advisor anymore. I'm not going to have anyone tell me how to do it. I'm going to figure out how to do it. You know, skated by, I just skated my teeth through college, and then was like, okay, what's my next move after this? I had a minor in informatics and a bachelor's in arts and humanities. Um, really wanted to go into software development, um, front end computer stuff, that kind of thing. Found a job that I interviewed for, and it was, I breezed through that interview. They're asking me like very fundamental questions regarding like front end development. easy stuff. But when I got to the job, like they flew me all the way out to Tampa, and when I got there, um, first day I was like, this is not a job for me. Like it was immediately overwhelming. They were looking for like actual computer scientists, and I was like, I'm not like a computer science. I was surrounded by guys that are basically having debates over like what algorithm is the most efficient one. I'm just like, this is above my. Hey man, I'm just a multimedia designer. I don't know how to create systems from the back end, anything like that. So when that happened, I was like, man, I just got flown all the way out to Tampa just to tell these people that I'm not gonna be moving forward with them. And they were trying to, lock you into a 2-year contract where I know I was going to hate myself for those 2 years. Just didn't do it. So
Wow.
quit the job, was stuck in Tampa trying to make it work, right? I was like, you know what? Always wanted to like get this DJ business going. So while I was there, I worked underneath some guy for like a karaoke company. Immediately learned that wasn't really like conducive to what I wanted to do. Tried to get some little side hustles to make it in Tampa because honestly, if I wanted to DJ, Tampa would be the best place to get that started, right?
Mhm.
Unfortunately, at that time, didn't have any equipment, none of the stuff that I do have now. So it just ended up having to take the long trip back. Whoops, sorry about that. Ended up having to take the long trip back to Indiana, defeated, you know, job didn't work out, side hustles didn't work out. So that was just a sad 16-hour drive back home to figure out what is my next move.
Yeah.
And since then, just had several part-time jobs on the side while building up this DJ business, um, and to get it to where I'm at now. So that's been like the whole thing. And like the hardest thing about all of that was just kind of like all the failures, just kind of figuring out where you are going to succeed at.
Mhm.
And that, once I realized that, I was like, okay, I'm not really cut out to do this computer stuff. I might just need to do something else that I know I'm good at, which is this music stuff. So how can I turn
Mhm.
that into a service? Who do I know? One of my
Mm.
best friends is like one of the national DJ champions right now. He's very talented. So when I have sources like that are around me, it doesn't make sense for me not to pursue that on top of like what I already wanted to do. So it's pretty easy to get started because of that support network that I had. There's a DJ school here in Indiana. They helped me out. Just a bunch of other people, like outside of my family, unfortunately, that helped me like get the business going and like actually make money off it. So, but I would say, yeah, that's the hardest thing that's been in my life personally, just kind of figure out what's my purpose, what I'm good at, making, fleshing out any issues that I
Well,
have in business,
mhm.
relationships, and things like that. So.
Well, thank you for sharing and caring because you know what? It's it's not about what challenge is bigger than the other challenge. It's still a challenge. It's something that you go through. And everything that I heard was something that would make you feel, like you said, you use the word defeated. And sometimes that welcomes depression, that welcomes different feelings, that are you going this way, are you going that way? And I know there's many people that can relate with you on what you just said and your story, your challenges, but your direction. And I always say to people, it's not a failed situation. There's a straight line, but there's some side streets before you get to the end of that road.
Oh
And
yeah.
that's life. That's life. Okay. So to me, you might have to take some side streets on your way. And you're not done yet. Okay. So I tell people, you're not done yet. So you still got some side streets to be like, okay, let me see what this street is about. And we do that in
For
our life.
sure.
Because if you didn't do that, how would you grow? How would you grow? I mean, I don't know what I can learn going straight line. I just go straight line. What to get my balance straight? But if I take this right turn that I might should, I'm not sure. It's a gamble. I might learn something so I can bring it back over here and then know which street I should choose next. See, that's life. So there's really no right, wrong answer. So I appreciate that you shared that story because that is challenging and a lot of people go through it, including myself. I've done this before.
I hope it's somewhat relatable. Like I said,
Oh,
there's
it
a lot
is,
of
my
people
dear.
trying to figure out what they're doing.
Oh my goodness. You
know.
got so many people in school. You mentioned school.
Oh my
gosh. My son should be listening. he got the direction. But he's still at that moment. He's in his last year, senior in high school. Like, okay, I might want this, I might want that, and that's okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah, like
it's all right. We'll figure
I
it
would
out.
say, yeah, figure it out. Don't waste too much money at a school if you don't need to. Like that's just my personal belief at this point, I'll just leave it at that.
No, you know what? I love school. I learned, so I want to say my perspective about school is mainly because there's other people that, either died for us to have the opportunity to go to school or, got treated certain ways. So I take advantage of education, even if I feel like I didn't want to go, but I find something that, is going to say, hey, go, because if you can't go or you're not able to or allowed, I should say that in our world, like in our lifespan right now, if someone said, no, you cannot go, now you want to go just because they said you're not allowed to go. You're not allowed to go to school. Can you imagine? I can't imagine, but there's people before us has been told that. So that's the only reason why I take advantage of the education, because though giving respect to those people that laid the foundation, they didn't want to give their generation or the generation behind, upcoming, forward, I want to say, is, not able to do it. So that's why I take advantage. But do I say that, does that make you? No, I think a person that even with a degree or not degree, street smarts, you're just as bright, experience.
Oh yeah, there's so many
all day,
things
all
you can take
night.
advantage of now in this day and age, like whether it's
all
school,
day.
investing,
Yep, all day, all night.
earning your licenses. Yeah, there's so many things that we can take advantage of now that we couldn't at one point. So
that's right, all day, all night. But that's just my spill about education. So I value what you said. I'm all right with that. It's I believe that too. It's an open house over here, no judging. On that note, we are going to take a brief commercial and we will be right back with the amazing JL events. Do not go nowhere. We'll be right back with the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show, powered by Sweet Recordings. We'll be right back, fam.
Tell me a little bit about what you do as a clinical psychologist.
Well, I see clients regarding depression, bipolar, personality disorders, because we know we have many out there. Yes. So I help people deal with that and their families and everything like that.
And of course, mental health right now at the forefront, so important as people really start to kind of work on. I feel like we're gaining ground to understand that it is something that we can talk about, that we can seek help for.
Yes, it's been important. I think a lot of people didn't realize how important it is since the pandemic, but it's been important, just like physical, your medical condition. So yes, I've always thought it was, but I'm glad that we're getting help. And people are identifying it, because that's what's important. Many people wasn't identifying mental health issues. They just thought, oh, maybe you're having a bad day. No, that's labeled depression. If you're constantly having that bad day, every day you're waking up with that feeling, you need to seek help. You need to talk about it, communicate.
Welcome back to the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show, powered by Sweet Recordings. We are still with Josh. How you doing, Josh? Thank you for coming back. Before we went on break, and like I said, we were discussing just challenges. Well, because my platform is about, positive psychology and entertainment, all types of things. But I believe in self-care. And I believe in things that we need to do, even though all the things I do in life for others and for myself, I always have to remember how important self-care is. So I'm going to ask you, Josh, what do you do for self-care and how is it important to you?
Absolutely. So because I'm a 30-year-old single male, it's very easy for me to just do self-care all the time. So like usually when I wake up, I'm, do my morning exercise stuff. Right now, I just got done playing basketball. Do that. Um, Take time to just relax at home, watch TV. I do play video games and stuff like that in my spare time after I do all that. But yeah, as far as like making time to just relax after you're trying to make all these self improvements, because at a certain point I do want to have like a family and all that when I get finances and all that. But yeah, I've just been so geared on self improvement and exercise, finances. Yeah, I had to take a step back and be like, you know what, let me just make sure that I'm not overwhelming myself. So take a seat, might DJ a little bit, play some music, go out. I do like to go out, so I'll go to several events during the week, see other DJs, other people that I know. But yeah, it's important to like not be super productive 24/7. I know like and you can't feel bad about like having a day where you don't exercise. Sometimes I get like that. I'll be like, oh man, I didn't exercise that day. Now I got to take it twice as hard the next day, which is fair. But I think you definitely do need to slow down a little bit for your mental health because yeah, a lot of guys will overwork themselves, never take a break, and it's like no, you should take a break. It's okay to play video games. It's bad when you overdo stuff. It's bad when you overdo your self care. You know, have to balance all that stuff out. So.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing. It's so important. Now I'm gonna go off a little bit on some of the other questions I like because we talked about you, but my curiosity is how did you get into wanting to DJ and the music? I mean, what gave you that one day, that sensation?
Yeah, it's a great question.
I
So
know.
yeah, like I said, from the jump, like I've always been involved in the music and stuff like that. Just been formerly classically trained, and like I said, violin, viola. I really do like playing my instruments. Even when I was in like my school orchestra, was always like first or second chair. So like, and then on top of that, very into like just modern music production when I was like in high school and stuff like that. So as far back as like 2011, 2012, I've been working inside of like digital audio workstations and like making beats, producing stuff, figuring out how different softwares work. I do wish I had the business knowledge to monetize that kind of thing back then. I feel like that's what the issue is. A lot of people that get involved in art or good at it is that they don't know any kind of business or how to monetize what they do. Because if I knew how to monetize some of the stuff that I made back then, I probably could have made some money. But that bled into like me seeing my buddies DJ. I always wanted to be a DJ too. So like my first producer name was DJ whatever. Even though I wasn't a DJ, I was just making beats. But when my buddy stepped into it, I got inspired. But then we fell out for a little bit, and then I didn't really pursue. I was in college too. But then we reconnected, and then I was still like really wanting to learn how to DJ. So I was in this scratching. Scratching was the one thing that really got me into DJing. It's like the actual the cool technical stuff because it looks like you're actually playing an instrument. I can apply like the same stuff that you would apply to learning an instrument to learning how to like all the turntables, techniques, stuff like that. So basically DJing hit a bunch of stuff. It hit my love for like, music, learning an instrument, and it can turn into a service. And I do like making people like dance and happy. So like I actively only work with clients or like I'm a good fit for. They want to have a good time, good music, good mixing. They're looking for a DJ to keep it upbeat, all that good stuff. Typically stay away from people that just want to treat me like a jukebox. It's like, ah, no. But yeah, so like this, it's just over time. It's a combination, and that's another thing too. I have to make sure that I don't get burnt out from DJing, and a part of that
Yeah.
is working towards only working with clients and gigs that don't suck the life out of like what I like to do. So
Yeah.
yeah. because that
Yes.
can't happen, And to be honest, I don't work for Bingo Loco anymore. I don't. I
Yeah.
don't. Like that recently, I had a falling out with it. I was just like, you know what, this isn't for me. I'm a DJ. You guys only have me DJing for like 30 minutes at a time, and then the other stuff you want me to like do a bunch of prep work for something that's soul sucking. And at that point, I'm just like,
Yeah.
need to find someone else, man. And
Wow.
what actually happened? I got into it with the last host, and apparently they were higher up, and I was like, you
Yeah.
know what, I don't care. This is not for me. You guys are gonna make me hate my job, so
Aw.
yeah.
You know what? They lost an asset.
Yeah,
Because I'm going to tell you, you were great. You got me up
Thank
out of
you.
that chair. I was like, oh,
You
Bingo
should tell them that. That'll
Loco.
be funny.
You know what? We are telling them if they,
That'll be
this is
hilarious.
global, people
It's like, is he
watching.
gonna be back? It's like,
Well, I'm glad I got you. I got a glimpse of you because I was like, I was
know.
having a
No, that's why I was
ball.
like,
Did you see?
I saw you. I was like, yeah. I was like, he's having the most fun.
I had a
That's the
ball.
energy. That's exactly the kind of like crowd reactions I go for when I'm doing my job. Though it's like if it's not
Yeah.
that, then I'm just like I'm going to go somewhere else.
I don't
People
blame
do
you.
have that reaction.
Yeah, and it was a
'Cause I need to
break
do my
I
job.
needed.
Yeah. Yeah. So like,
I was so like, yes, because I think I was scrolling, sitting in my bed one time. It was really late, and I just seen the party of everybody going like that. Didn't know what bingo.
Yeah.
I know the Bingo Loco. My
Yeah.
daughter said, it said bingo in it. Why didn't you know it was bingo? I said, I don't know how to play bingo. They look like they were dancing, having fun. Because that was my daughter right next to me. And
That's
I
how
was
they
just
market
like,
it.
yeah. I was like, well, I went to a party, didn't know it was bingo, and said, wow, this is interesting. My daughter's like, well, do this number, do that. And I'm like, okay, when we go to party?
Yeah.
But I had a
It's
good
something,
time.
man. Yeah, absolutely.
It was really fun, and you made it wonderful. I mean, the music that you played, it wasn't just diverse. You went up and down and around. You know what I mean? And I love that because there was many different ages out there, that enjoyed the music that you played. So thank you, because it wasn't just one class of music. You had several different music. I mean, my daughter, and you're around my daughter's age. I think she's actually a year older than you, but and so she enjoyed some of this music. So she enjoyed a lot of this music. Really, we were both like, "Hey, that's my oldest daughter, and we enjoy the music together."
I appreciate that. Yeah, they I don't know what the other guys are doing, but yeah, they were like, okay, guy, you're terminated. And I'm like, oh, okay, all right, that's fine, whatever.
Well, you know what? I'm glad I met you. So there's more to this. You know what? I'm glad I met you, and that's what's important. And maybe there was somebody else in other places, as you know, because you're branching out to your own thing and doing your own thing. And one door closed, another door opens. That's how I always look at it. My mom always said to me, one $5 job is always another. You don't have to put up with certain things in your life.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's another thing too. Like I'm all about having leverage in life in general.
That's right.
Like I'd be like, yo, I don't need whatever, you know what I mean? Even right now, I'm like in the middle of doing something that I really always want to do to make sure I don't hate DJ anymore. I've been promoting, throwing my own event recently. Well, I'm working on it right now. I've been talking to a couple of venues and stuff like that. But yeah, just doing my own events, bringing my own equipment, got my own team, all that stuff, and just bringing it to a venue that's gonna allow that. And then we'll talk business,
That energy.
all that stuff. So
yeah. Well, you know what? I want you to hold that note because we're going to take a brief commercial. We're going to come back and I'm going to ask you, what are you doing that is promoting that, like your contact information and all that other stuff, and website, whatever you have, so people can follow and look for you and see what Josh is doing. You know what I mean? So on that note, we'll be right back with the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show, powered by Sweet Recordings. Don't go nowhere from we're still with the amazing Josh.
The Dr. Meleeka Clary show is on Bold and Brave TV network. That's a global broadcaster show everywhere. Now, what it is about the identification of oneself. And I ask that question because not many people identify who they are. You could do a lot of things in this world, but you don't know who you are. And it's not about you being a doctor. It's not about you being an actress or a celebrity or a server. It's about you being a person first. You have challenges in your life. And what do you go through? And what's your belief mechanism? What gets you up out of that bed? What makes you think? What makes you love yourself? Because some people, they don't. We're going to get to it.
Welcome back to the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show, powered by Sweetwood Corns. We are still with the amazing Josh JL Events. Come on in here. All right. Oh, am I? Because I don't see. I'm frozen on your end.
On my end, yeah. I don't know. I don't know about anyone else. So.
Okay, because I'm not frozen, but
all right, well,
you can hear me.
I don't know.
All right.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yes. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm all good. So, with that being said, you know what, Josh? It's always amazing. It's amazing to bring like guests on my show and your story, your testimonies, and things that you went through, and what you're currently doing. And sharing is caring. So I appreciate you. So I wanted to say thank you for one. And with that being said, you know what? Before we went on break, you was talking about events and things that you're doing. How can the people support you? How can we find you? What is your social medias? And, give me everything.
Yeah, absolutely. So a big thing, I guess, just because I'm in the middle of the whole rebranding thing, still my main Instagram and Facebook is going to be that DJ CRUZE DJ Cruise Control. My website is jlevents.dj, and that's going to have all my contact information. That's where I send all my leads and clients and do all my bookings and stuff like that. But yeah, it's jlevents.dj is my website, and then DJ CRUZECTRL is my active Instagram right now. So that's where most people find me and all that good stuff.
Okay, great. Now, do you do private events too? I think I heard something you said you run events.
Absolutely. That's my main source of income is private events. So I'm mainly doing weddings. I booked a wedding today. Mainly doing corporate events, proms, sporting events. Occasionally I do public stuff. Like I have to do a club event tomorrow at Bloomington. But it's mainly private events because they pay more. And if I do want to do a public thing, I have to be a good fit for it per usual, or I have to throw my own thing, which is kind of what I'm doing now. So.
Great. I'm in the entertainment field, and and I know you looked me up and stuff because the Three Corners Deception movie and stuff like that. Thank you for that. Thank you for the support. And I'm all about music too. So one thing I always love is when musicians and, your art, I love that. And when you do certain beats and stuff like that, it's just amazing. I just love. So thank you for doing what you do. But also you did mention that you develop beats. Is that true?
Yeah.
I would be talking to you. So we'll be chatting because I've been messing around. I've been messing around with my little equipment and everything and doing some things during my birthday month break. And I'm working on my little songs. I wrote about 5 songs, but I'm working on me, y'all. Because don't think I'm just taking care of my mom and I'm sitting in here and doing nothing. See, I can't do that. I got to be productive because I got to take care of my mom. That's number one. But I also got to take care of me. That's productive and do things that I like. So I'm getting something going, y'all. But he said beats, and I was messing around with some beats. I don't even know how I got these beats, but I was just doing it. But it actually sounded pretty okay. But when I really think about it, I'm gonna have to call Josh. So I'm glad that you mentioned all these things. So I will be talking to you more so when I feel like, okay, now let me see what he thinks. And then maybe you can collaborate on something that would say, okay, try this out. We'll talk about it after the show. Maybe not today, but we will. But I'm just putting that bug in your your ear that I'm going to be calling you, Josh.
I'm gonna be looking out for that. Yes, that's exciting to hear. Yes.
So, okay. You know what? Before we go, and it was such a blast. I love, bringing people on my show and learning something too. It's not just people. I'm people too, and learning all these different things that people can bring to a show and just bring just their, I don't know, what do you want to say? Creativity or just a personality. And I just love it. So thank you again for being on the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show. But before we wrap up things, is there any quote that you live by? Because I live by this quote, never stop trying. My dad used to always say that. He has moved on. And to be honest with you, today it's been 32 years to today. He died this date 32 years ago. And he was actually 52 when he died. But he lived his life. Don't get me wrong, but his thing was never stop trying. And I take that with me wherever I go in life, never stop trying. So is there a quote that you live by?
I'm not sure if I'm quoting it right, but it's something that's stuck with me like since college and since, feeling certain type of ways about what I thought I was going to do. It's like you never really know what's good or bad for you in your life. Like you might think you failing at whatever you thought you wanted to do is a bad thing, but that might just put you on a different path towards something that you actually is going to be good for you. So you don't know really what's good or bad in the long run. So if something doesn't work out, that might just be another opportunity for something else to work, and if
That's right.
vice versa. So.
That's right. Well, you know what? I got that out of that. You never know. And change. It's okay. Don't be threatened or intimidated by change. Change is okay, people. Just welcome it, though. Just welcome it. If you welcome with a positive attitude, things will get better. Just welcome change. You know what? Thank you again, Josh. I really appreciate you for being a guest on my show. But I look forward to chatting with you soon.
Yeah, I'll
Yes,
be on the
yes,
lookout.
yes.
Yes, absolutely. Thank
All
you so
right.
much.
I ain't playing. I'm not playing. I'm not playing. So thank you again. And I'm going to just go on to me. But thank you again. Talk to you soon. Thank you, Josh. I appreciate you. All right. You know what? It was a wonderful time with Josh. JL Events, y'all. Y'all got to check him out. He's an amazing young fella, isn't he? Oh, my gosh. And I mean what I say, y'all. Y'all think I was just playing. I ain't playing. I'm trying to make me a little bit. I think I said something about these are my morning vibes. That's one of the, titles to my song. I'll give you that. But I got several of them too. I have been writing lately and trying to, well, I write anyway. I wrote a movie. What do you expect? Hello, I wrote another movie. So I write, period. But I realized that, with caregiving for my mom and everything, I don't want my talent or my art or just how I feel to just stay inside of me. So I have to release it some way or another. And either if I write for people or write whatever. I mean, I'm storytelling. I'm not really a rapper, but I like story, but poetry, it's kind of my thing. So that's what I've been doing in the October break. See what I'm saying? As long as God give you a breath, you're able to do something. So that's how I feel. So I'm glad he said what he said because, networking people, that's what I'm all about. Networking. And, I don't know what I want to do with the music, more so playing on my content. I'm not really a person to be like, oh, I'm going to do shows and do all that. No, I don't know about that. But I like art and that's what I like to do. So movies, yes, I play myself in my movies. So y'all be looking out for the Boston Girls. When we're ready, I ask God, give me that direction. And boy, I'm trying. So we'll see what happens. With that being said, I am so glad you guys tune in. And thank you so much for tuning into the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show. I love you guys. I love you. Keep on sharing and caring and keep on being nice and positive. Forget that negativity. Get with this positivity, okay? Because that's what we need today, okay? We need that every day. But with that being said, you already know my social medias. It's been running down this strip, this orange strip down here. I love that. That's my new thing, Dr. Meleeka Clary Show. If no one said I love you, I love you and I care about you. And I do this pro bono because I want people to share their testimony and stories and myself and what I go through so I can help you live a better life, including myself. So let's do this together. Let's hug each other. Let's love each other. Let's respect each other and be kind to each other and ourselves. Love yourself too. All right. With that being said, thank you again for tuning in to Dr. Meleeka Clary Show, powered by Sweet Recordings. Enjoy the rest of your day and the weekend to come. God bless you all. Take care. Mwah.